Hello, welcome back to our video lecture series on chapter 6.4 in the Lock 5 textbook. In the last video, we were going over hypothesis test, where the claim was the average change in IQ for gross birders was the same as the change in control group. We made sure that our conditions were met. Sample sizes were both at least 30. Our sample statistic of interest that we care about is 3.8. Difference of the two sample means. Standard error formula, we got that to be 1.813. And we finished with the test statistic. Statistic minus the null over standard error. And don't forget, for difference of means, the null is going to equal 0. And compute p-value. So we're going to let t be 64 degrees of freedom, the smaller of each sample size minus 1. And we finished the last video. We're going to stat key. T distribution, enter 64 degrees of freedom, the smaller of the two sample sizes, minus 1. And the way I have it set it up, we're going to do a right tail test because my test statistic is positive. It would also be appropriate if you switch these two groups and get a minus 38, you end up with a negative 2.096. That would be lower tail. But in this case, we're doing upper tail. And I want to make sure to change this bottom entry to my test statistic. 2.096. Click OK, and there's p-value, 0.02. So we get p-value 0.02. And if we had a, say, 5% significance level, we would reject the null hypothesis and say that we have evidence that positive teacher expectations significantly increase IQ scores on average in elementary school children. So this is with a significance level of 5%. And actually from this paper published, here we go. So notice right here, they're describing what that p-value means in the paper. The difference gain could be ascribed to a chance in 2 in 100 times. So that what they're saying right here is if there's no effect of telling students that their IQs are going to grow, that the growth that we saw in the last in the sample data would only be about 2 in 100 times. All right. Okay, this finishes up the video lecture series on chapter 6.4 for the lecture slides. Later on, I'm actually going to, not later on, but the next video posted on here is looking at worksheet. We're going to do some more examples of 6.4 in videos. And so we could spend more in-class time focused on 6.5.